So guys, over the years I have checked out a lot of different modulation type pedals, things like chorus pedals or flangers. But one thing I have never checked out on my channel is a phaser. Phaser pedals are one of the most classic modulation type effects. And if you want to capture a sound that's reminiscent of the 60s or 70s, a phaser is pretty much your go-to pedal. So in today's video, I've got an incredible pedal, not just for the features, but also look how big this thing is. And it's made out of metal and wood, like you've got a mini mixing console on your pedal board. But now, is it going to sound as cool as it looks? Let's find out. Alright guys, now this is not just a regular phaser pedal, obviously. I think you can tell just from looking at it. Although it does have some standard phaser sounds in it. This is the Warm Audio Jet Phaser. And to be honest, Warm Audio is not a company I was familiar with before, but I saw this thing and I mean this looks pretty irresistible, so I'm happy to be checking this out. But basically this pedal is split into two parts. One part is a pretty standard phaser type pedal. It's going to give you these cool sweeping modulation type sounds. And the other part is the jet phaser portion of it, which is going to combine the phaser effect and a sort of fuzz distortion type sound. This makes for some really crazy, really psychedelic type sounds, which you'll hear in the demo. But first, let's just look at these controls because they're kind of unique. So, second from the left here, this knob right here, this is the mode control. And so this is going to select if you want just the phaser on its own, or if you want the jet phaser section that combines it with the fuzz tone. The jet phaser section has 4 different sections which you can cycle through. Then the phaser only section has 2 different sections. Now when you're on one of the jet phaser settings, you can use this knob over here on the left, and this is the jet level. So this is just going to adjust, sort of the amount of fuzz or the amount of gain. And these 2 controls over here, this is the resonance and the slow rate. So the resonance is going to control how wide of a frequency sweep it goes through when it's in the phaser section. And then the slow rate over here, it's just going to adjust the rate, how quickly that sweep goes through. Now this thing down here, this is a fast, slow selection. So you can actually leave the rate knob where it is and hit that, and it will sort of double up the rate that the sweep goes through. That switch will basically take it from like a wah 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 sound to like a wah 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 sound. You guys know what I mean. Now this stuff will make a lot more sense when you hear it in action. And this other button down here, this is basically just the effect on-off button. Now there's one more thing. Up here, there's a switch. This is kind of a unique feature. Not a lot of pedals have this. This is a switch to switch from internal battery power or a DC adapter, which the pedal includes. Obviously, there are a lot of pedals that you can run off either the battery or an adapter, but I don't think I've ever seen a pedal before that has a dedicated switch to control the power input. On the back of the pedal here, we've got just the basic instrument in, the output, and then the 18-volt input down here. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and plug this pedal in and listen to how it sounds, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. But real quick guys, as always, if you enjoy videos like this, talking about guitars and gear and checking out cool new equipment, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Alright guys, let's hook this up and listen to how it sounds. Alright guys, so let's talk about the sound of this pedal. So first of all, the phaser section I really like. One of the first effects pedals I had was an old Boss phaser. It was a really fun pedal, really cool way to get into modulation type effects. Now, to be perfectly honest, I think the jet phaser section, it's not going to appeal to everybody. The type of tone that it's using, it's not so much an overdrive or distortion tone, but it's a very specific fuzz tone. Now, some people use fuzz tone to describe any distorted tone, any high gain tone. But I think in this case, the fuzz tone is really, it has a very 60s flavor to it, very psychedelic flavor to it. And for me personally, I prefer more modern sounding higher gain tones, and by modern I mean 1980s. But that being said, if you want to get a really crazy psychedelic tone, you can absolutely get it out of this pedal, and you can pretty much use just this pedal on its own because, again, it's combining those two different effects, the fuzz and the phaser. The phaser only section, I think it sounded really good. If you were using like a distorted tone from the amplifier or even a clean tone, it sounded really cool. And I think the phase 2 mode was my favorite, but they really both sounded good. I think the phase 2 selection right here, it was just a little bit more aggressive sounding. And usually if I'm going to have a modulation pedal turned on in my signal chain, I want to really know that it's there. I like a more aggressive sound when it comes to modulation stuff. Now, speaking of knowing when it's on, one thing that this pedal does not have, and it's a little bit surprising, this pedal has no indicator light. There's no LED or anything like that that tells you when it's on or off. So you can really only tell by listening to it. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't put that on, because obviously most pedals do have an indicator light, and it's obviously not a deal breaker. It's still a really cool pedal without that, but I kind of think it should have it. Now, with or without an LED to tell you when it's on, this is a really beautifully made, really high quality pedal. I mean, all the components are really nice. All of these knobs, everything works really, it all has a really solid feeling to it when you're using it. It's quite a heavy pedal, which is nice because then it's not going to slide around on the floor when you're stepping on it. It includes the 18-volt power supply, and again, if you want to run it off of battery power, you can absolutely do that. And so because it's 18 volts, it uses two 9-volt batteries, and there's an access panel in the back where you can put those in. Also, this pedal is true bypass, so it's not going to affect your tone when the pedal is off. Now, this pedal costs about $200, and yeah, compared to some other phaser pedals, I mean, that's kind of on the expensive side. But again, this is a really nicely made, really high quality pedal, and because it does combine those two effects, the fuzz, the fuzz tone stomp box effect and the phaser, you're kind of getting two pedals in one, when you get this. So for what this is, I don't think $200 is an unreasonable amount of money. All right, guys, but as always, I really want to hear from you what you guys think about those classic fuzz tones. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you think that fuzz tones can really only be used, like associated with one particular style of music, or do you think they have a variety of uses? As always, I look forward to finding out what you guys think in the comments section below. I will put a link down in the video description where you can get this pedal. It's available on all the usual places online. And I will also put links down there for my new 1988 guitar instructional video. I've got a 50% off link down in the video description if you want to check that out. And I'll also have stuff for my social media and that kind of thing down there. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. And also, if you guys are into heavy metal and bodybuilding, check out my buddy Wayne's channel, Metal and Iron, here on YouTube. I'll put a link down in the video description for that as well. All right, guys, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you very soon. See you next time.